Hi there. This year I've decided to keep a botanical diary. So basically, each month I will choose one, two, maybe even three flowers, we will see. And then I will make a study page and document this flower, this plant on my diary. And the inspiration has come from many contemporary botanical artists that keep a diary. Sometimes it's a slightly different type of diary, but something like this. And from a botanical artist from the past, which is Edith Holden. And if you don't have a book, I would advise you to get it. It's called The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, and it's a really lovely book. I mean, her diary was more documenting everything that she saw in the countryside. There were also animals and plants, everything. I will try to do mine more like a study page so that at the end of the year, I still have lots of material that I can use for my paintings. And so I thought I would share this process with you because many people have asked me if I could show what a study page looks like. And I think this will also be a nice encouragement if you want to do the same thing. So I can show you what you need to add in your study page. So this video, it's only one part of the work, but it's already quite a lot of material here. So at the moment, I'm showing you how to, how I do this. You can do differently, but normally I draw the plant and I draw it on tracing paper, and then I arrange it on my sketchbook so that I know which space I have left for writing. And I have an idea, it's a rough idea. Maybe sometimes I will change things around, but it will give me an idea of the space I have left so I can write all the information. So in this case, I'm not just going to write the technical information of the plant, which you will need if you want to do a study page. And in fact, in this video, I haven't got around to do that yet. So you need to add also the dimensions of the flower, of the stems, stalks, all this. But I started here writing where I found the plant, because I think it's a nice record as well to have. And I found this one near my vegetable garden because these plants seem to be growing everywhere around here. So they just grow wild, basically. And if they are left undisturbed, they do like nice little colonies. They tend to spread. And I like this flower because it has quite an interesting shape. It has this tubular shape, which is quite alien. We don't normally see flowers like this. We're used to different type of flowers. So I do like this sort of wild plants because sometimes they take different shapes, unexpected and quite interesting. So the flowers have a kind of purplish brown color and olive green as well, and they have these stripes in the flower, and then all this little pattern in the stalks and the stems. And the leaves have also a particular shape as well. They have this sort of ovate shape, and the point is like arrow shaped. So the base is ovate and the point is arrow shaped. And the petiole is quite long. So the stalk is like 12 to 15 centimeters long. And the flowers are also quite long, and they grow straight, really, really straight from the ground. And the plant, because I did a little research, the plant has a rhizome, but I wasn't able to dig it up. It's really, I think it's really, really deep down, the rhizome of the plant. So I could pick this plant because there's quite a lot. It's not an endangered species. So I picked the flowers and the leaves. If it was an endangered species, I would advise you to just take pictures, like lots of pictures. Maybe take your watercolor with you and do some color swatches on site, so you don't pick the plant. But this one, it grows everywhere here, even by the sea, which is quite a harsh environment, but they still grow by the sea. And I like to, when I find it, to see a specimen which is sort of wilting as well. So I have one here, and just to see how the color changes and how the flower changes as it grows old and dies, basically. And when I find them, I like to add the seeds as well. So for this one, I would have to go back and then wait until the flowers are wilted and completely and the seeds are starting to develop. So here I've gone back to sort of trying to arrange my drawings, just to see how I can use the space in the best way possible. So I'll do a little bit of rearranging and moving around to see where I can place this, because also I want to leave some space to take some notes of, as I was saying before, of the dimensions of the flowers, which one is the ovary, maybe length of the petioles and all that. And now here I'm going to have a look at the colors. So I'm going to do the color swatch. I have traced, you can't really see it very much here, it's quite faint, but I have traced the flowers and leaves on my sketchbook. And now I'm just going to mix the colors, do some color swatches. So here I'm using transparent yellow and Prussian blue, and I'm going to add a little bit of raw amber, just to tone it down a little bit, make it more natural looking. So I have my leaf here, and I have a little bit of scrap paper, which is the same. I'm using Arches paper, and my sketchbook, I made it myself, is also Arches paper. So I just use the same paper because sometimes the color changes if you use different papers. It doesn't have to be, this way. You can use just a normal sketchbook. Don't worry about that, because it's not a huge change. But sometimes, I'm a little perfectionist, and sometimes there's a slight change when you change the paper. So I like to use the same for everything. But I understand Arches is quite expensive, and other watercolor papers too. So you can use any sketchbook if you want to do this, and just any paper, as long as it's watercolor paper, to do your color testing. And then I just put the swatch on my sketchbook, so next time I want to recreate the color, I know which colors they are. And now I'm adding a little bit more of Prussian blue, because I like to make darker versions of the color. So if you have, parts in shadow that you need a darker color, it's good to always try a darker version as well. So take all the swatches that you need, and then I write down what colors I used, and I normally use like a code, like an abbreviation. So I put like TY for transparent yellow and PB for Prussian blue, and so on. You can use your own code, of course. And here I'm mixing a bit more yellow, transparent yellow, and Prussian blue, so to make it even darker. And again, it's another level of darkness in case I need to do some really dark areas on the leaf. And now here I'm doing with the same colors, but I'm doing a lighter version because the back of the leaf, so I think it's called abaxial, but the back of the leaf is lighter than the top, so I need a lighter grain. So I use the same colors, but I use less raw amber. So this first color is okay, but it's still a bit too much yellow. So I'm adding a bit more blue to veer towards more green. So, and again, I just swatch it on my sketchbook. And usually I do a version where I water down a little bit the color, and I see what it looks like when it's lighter, basically. And I add letters to my mixes, so I will add A, B, C, and so on. And then, because sometimes when you do a particular mix, you will use a color and then you will add a little bit of one of these mixes. And I will show you this when I mix the color for the flower. So maybe it will make more sense, because I'm not sure if I'm explaining it properly. And here I have the flowers, so I'm going to start mixing the colors for the flowers. So the green, I can use the same as the leaves. I can use the lighter version. So that's why it's good to have a watered down version on your sketchbook. And so I'm going to mix Perylene Maroon. I hope I'm saying this right. And to this color, I'm going to add, as you can see, a little bit of the first mix, so the A mix. That's why I name my mixes as well as my colors that I use, because then I don't have to rewrite every single color that goes in there. So in this, the Perylene Maroon is kind of a reddish color, and when you add the green to the red, you get this sort of brownish color. And this way, you don't need to mix a completely new brown, and also you have a continuity of colors. You have an harmonious palette, because the colors are, the pigments are always the same that you're using for each of the different mixes. And this brown color is also good for the spadix, that's what it's called. And so I'm just making notes as well as I go where the color can be used. So I check the stalks, the different parts of the flowers, to see, and the leaves, to see if I can use that particular color in other parts of the plant. So here I'm going to mix a color which I call darkening mix, which is basically Winsor blue green shade, quinacridone magenta, and lemon yellow. Lemon yellow is Daniel Smith, while all my other colors are Winsor & Newton. And this darkening mix, basically it's really, really useful when you want to darken a color. So if you want to darken a green, for example, if you put red, because sometimes people say you just add the complementary color, but if you put red, as you saw just earlier, you get a brown. So you would have to put a little tiny amount, and you don't get the dark color that you want. So if you do a darkening mix, then you can add that color, that darkening mix, to your other color, so to your green or even some reds. Not so much yellow, but with the other colors it works. So you make this sort of gray color. You can leave it with a tendency towards the red or towards the blue, but normally I try to be to get the color as neutral as possible. And then, as you can see, I added that to the previous sort of brownish color, and I use that to make that brownish color even darker, because some of the parts of this flower are quite dark. So, and I added so to the red color, which it's for the flower, and then I will add it for the green as well. So I have these different versions in case I need a very dark green. So here I just take a note of the darkening mix and the colors that I used. And now, as I was saying, I just added to the green color, so I make it even darker. And this will be A plus darkening mix. Then here I check the brown for my wilted flower, so which is it's quite good as well. So, and then when I actually paint, I will do some adjustments as I go. But these are excellent starting points for my colors. So I did a watered down version for the darkening mix as well here. And here I'm just adding a few details. So that's the ovary, and then the spandex, the spade, that's what it's called, and how big it is. So the flower, and just a note that the flower bud, it's all green, so it doesn't have that dark coloring, and so this is all that I have at the moment. I will carry on with this page, and I will post more updates. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these sketchbook pages. I'll see you in the next video.